Friends, we'll start with the subject electrical machines. And as per the syllabus of electrical machines, we have to study DC machines, and second machine that we have to study as per the syllabus is transformer. And the both of these machines work on the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So first we will discuss the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and then we will go through the working and other mechanisms of these machines. So we are starting with Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So what is the statement of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? As per the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, when a conducting material cuts the magnetic flux, or magnetic linkage with the conductor changes, in both of the case an EMF will be induced into the conducting material. So as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, there are two situations. First one is when conducting material cuts the magnetic flux, and second situation is or the magnetic linkage with the conductor changes. In both of the cases, EMF will be induced into the conducting material. This is a Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. This is first law. So what happens? As per the statement of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the first law gives us that EMF will be induced in these two situations. And how much EMF will be induced? For that, the second law is there. According to second law of electromagnetic induction, EMF induced into the conducting material is directly proportional to rate of change of flux. So the second law, it will gives us that how much flux will be induced. So how much EMF will be induced. Okay, but in which direction? For direction, we have to study two more laws. First is Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. According to Fleming's left hand rule, when we point our thumb, forefinger and central finger in this direction, when they are perpendicular to each other, in this way, this forefinger, it will point in the direction of magnetic field, and our thumb will point in the direction of force. Then the central finger will give us the direction of induced EMF. Okay. but this the case will be applicable to first case when EMF induced will be dynamic in nature, or we can say dynamically induced EMF. So in this case, when conducting material cuts the magnetic flux, in this case the EMF induced will be dynamically induced EMF. And direction of this dynamically induced EMF will be given by Fleming's left hand rule. Okay. In the second situation, when magnetic linkage with the conductor changes, then also EMF will be induced into the conducting material. But in that case, the direction of induced EMF will be given by Lenz's law. Okay, now what is Lenz's law? As per the Lenz's law, the direction of electromagnetically produced current will be in such a way that it will oppose the cause of its production. Means the first region due to which the electromagnetic current is produced, the first region, the direction of current will be in such a way that it will oppose the cause of its production. Means the first region due to which the current is produced. So this is our Lenz's law. And in the second case, in this situation, the induced EMF will be statical in nature, or it will also be called as statically induced EMF. So we are having two types of induced EMF. First one is dynamically induced EMF, which is produced due to the first situation, and second one is statically induced EMF, which is produced due to the second situation. And direction of dynamically induced EMF will be given by Fleming's left hand rule. Direction of statically induced EMF will be given by Lenz's law. And this one is applicable to DC machines, and this situation applicable in transformers, because in transformers all the parts are in static in nature, but in DC machines, because the portion of the some part of the DC machines is in motion, so there will be dynamically induced EMF. So this is applicable to DC machines, first situation, and second situation for transformers. Okay. Now we will start with DC machines. Actually, DC machines are of two types. The DC machine which will work as the generator, or the machine which will give us electrical power as output, will be called as DC generator. This machine will give us DC power as output, and the machine which will give us mechanical power as output will be DC motor. Now this DC generator can be categorized in number of types depending on the connections of the windings. Actually, First we have to discuss the construction of DC machines. Then we will discuss on types of machine, DC generator and DC motor. In all the machines, mainly we are having these parts in all the DC machines. This portion is called as the stator. This is stator slots, stator poles, and this portion is rotor or armature. Okay, so the winding which is wound on the stator part is called as stator winding, and the winding which is placed in this part, moving portion, this moving portion is called as armature winding. So the winding here is armature winding, this winding is stator winding. Because the main work of this armature winding in this case is to produce the magnetic flux. That is why this is also called as field winding. So now we are having two types of winding. First one is field winding, which is wound on the stator portion, and second one is armature winding, which is wound on the rotor portion, moving portion. Okay, this armature winding is connected to this split ring. Is also called as commutator. These are brushes B1, B2. This commutator is part C1 and C2. The part C1 and C2, they are mechanically attached to each other, but they are electrically insulated from one another. The coil, let the coil is AB, C, D. The AB side is connected to C1 and CD side is connected to C2. If AB is moving like this, along with the AB side is connected to C1. So along with AB side, C1 will also move, and along with CD side, C2 will also move. Clear? So AB is connected to C1, CD is connected to C2. So, and now if the DC machine is working as DC generator, in that case this winding will be connected here and it will work as generator, means electrical power will be induced in the armature winding, that will be collected by this C1, C2, and then through the buses this power will goes to electrical load. In that case this machine will work as electrical generator or DC generator. But if this machine is working as DC motor, in that case here we will connect DC supply. From here DC power supply will goes like this from here to here, and then As per the Faraday's principle, the motor will starts working. वो हम आगे discuss करेंगे in the next lecture. How the rotor will starts rotating when we will connect the electrical power in the output winding.